Assalamualaikum. So let's continue with another example on multiplication and division of complex numbers. Alright, so in this example, the complex numbers are given in the standard form. Okay, so we have z is 1 minus I, and the other one is w is negative 6 minus 6 3 I. Okay, so now we have to find or we have to convert the complex number into its polar form. So we find r, okay, for this one. So r should be 1 squared plus negative 1 squared, and then square root. So that should be 1 plus 1 is 2, so square root of 2. And then theta is arctangent. Okay, so we have the negative 1 over 1, right? So theta is negative 1. And then we have to check that this complex number z, since x is 1 and y is negative 1, so x is positive, y is negative, then the complex number is in quadrant 4. Okay, so when we check the theta, okay, calculator is going to give us negative pi over 4. But theta for complex numbers, we have to change it so that it is within 0 and 2 pi. Oh, sorry. This one is not going to be in radian because it says that it must be in degrees. So we change to degrees. So if we take the calculator, use the calculator, it gives us negative 415. Okay, which is in quadrant 4. But we want it to be in between 0 and 360. So change to 315. Okay, so you change it right from the beginning. And then we take a look at this. Okay, the w, r should be negative 6 squared plus negative 6 3 squared. Okay, and then find its square root. Okay, so which when we calculate, it should be 12. Okay, when we calculate, this is going to be 12, and theta is going to be arctangent of 6 3 negative over negative 6. And this one, x is negative 6, y is negative 6 3. Okay, so this complex number is in quadrant 3. Okay, so when we calculate this, arctangent of 3 is 60. Okay, calculator gives us 60, but we have to change because it is in quadrant 3. So in quadrant 3, theta is 240. So we write there 240. Okay, so our complex number in the polar form is z is z2, okay, r is z2 cosine 315 plus sine 315i. Okay, and w is 12 cosine 240 plus sine 240i. Okay, so we want to find the quotient, sorry, the product. So the product is going to be Z2 times 12, okay, or 12 Z2, and the arguments we are going to add, right? So 315 plus 240 and sine as well, okay, we add 315 plus 240i. Okay, so again we have to remember that we have to put theta between 0 and 360. Okay, but this theta we already see that it's going to be very big, right? So we have to put it in the first, or in one revolution only, in one cycle only. So it's going to be 12 set 2. Okay, you are going to get 555, correct? Okay, 315 plus 240, 555. So you subtract 360 and it's going to be never mind. Okay, we do it one by one or step by step. So we calculate, it should be 555 plus sine 555i. Okay, and then put it in the one cycle or within 0 and 360, which we should get 195. Okay, so cos 195 and sine 195i. Okay, so this is the product. And then to find the quotient is, we want z over w. So the radius for z, or modulus for z, is 2 and modulus for w is 12. Okay, so we don't need to simplify this one, just leave it as it is. But the argument is going to be 315 minus argument for w is 240. Okay, so for sine it should be the same, exactly the same. So 315 minus 240. For sine there is I. Okay, so the quotient for the complex numbers is 315 minus 240, 75. So answer is cos 75 plus sine 75i. Okay, so this is the quotient. And then we go and check, okay, the answer. So the first complex number, okay, like just now, the first one, z, is, after we convert, we have set to cos 315 sine 315i. And then for w, after we convert, we get 12 cos 240 and sine 240i. Okay, and then the product is, okay, we get this, right? What we did just now, we get this. And then this is what you have to check, because the argument, okay, the theta must be between 0 and 360. Okay, so that's what you have to check, because when we add, we get more than 360, so we have to subtract. So how did we get 195? We subtract 555, subtract 360, so we get 195. Okay, and this one is the quotient. So the quotient we don't have to modify, because 75 and 75 is within 0 and 360. All right, so this is it for another example for product and quotient of two complex numbers, and we will continue in the next clip. All right, so assalamualaikum.